Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this month, November, I am participating in Nonfiction November and Historathon. I'm going to start out with the Nonfiction November one since that's the ones where I followed the prompt. So at the beginning of November, I went to the library to pick up the books for my TBR, and I had it set out perfectly which books I wanted to read that would fit the prompts. The prompts, if you don't know, are Element, Secret, Borders, Record. So I had some books that I really wanted to read, and they fit the prompts perfectly. Well, when I went to the library and looked those books up, three of them weren't there. Two books I had planned to read, and then like my backup book. None of them were on the shelf. I even checked with the library, and I guess they just went missing in the process of things. So I got another backup book, and then the two books that I was really wanting to read, I got one from my local bookstore, and then the other one I got on the Libby Book, the app. So the first one for the prompt Element, I got Salt. So salt is an element, so that's where that one came from. And then for Record, I have two. The first one is, I'm stretching it a little bit, I think. The first one is Zealot by Reza Aslan. They did not have, this was one of the ones that they didn't have at my library, but they did have it at my local bookstore, so I just purchased it there. It was only $5. Brand new, like new condition, I should say. I can't remember if I put it on my TBR or not, but it's trying to tell the story of Jesus based on him as a historical figure, from what I understand. So, what does the record say about his life? So, I use that for the prompt Record. And then for the book that I already own, I use the prompt Borders, and I'm going to read War and Peace, The End of Diplomacy and the Decline of American Influence. I read one of this author's books last year and really enjoyed it. I picked up this one at Ollie's, actually, the discount store, for a really good deal. So I was really excited when I had found that a while back. So this is the book that I already own, since that's one of my goals. And then finally, for the prompt Secret, I got The Family, The Secret Fundamentalism at the Heart of American Power. And that one's pretty obvious. Secret is there in the subtitle. And yes, I do have a weird obsession with books about religion and religious history. So those are my Nonfiction November ones. For Historathon, I'm really not following the prompts at all. I just picked a couple of historical fiction books that I've been wanting to read. So the first one I got is Mary Called Magdalene. And then this is actually one that was on my TBR for September that I never got to. Clan of the Cave Bear. So this is going to kind of take priority, I think, since it's on a past TBR and I want to complete it. And then a book I'm rereading. This is a book I got when I was in high school. I absolutely loved it. It's a young adult historical fiction called Beware Princess Elizabeth, about Elizabeth's life from when her father, King Henry VIII, died up until when she became queen. So it covers a time during her brother's reign, her sister's reign, as well as the reign of Queen Jane Grey, that only lasted 9 days. So that will be my reread this month. Another one, this is not necessarily on my TBR, that is The Rose Code. And then my last historical fiction one, this is one I purchased, discounted from Books A Million when I went there, called The Reckoning at Gossamer Pond by Jamie Jo Wright. I'll also be listening to an audiobook, since one of my goals is to listen. So it is a fairly large TBR, I think. But I'm really trying to stick to it, not read a whole lot of books that aren't on my TBR, and that'll be a lot easier to do this month since I don't really have very many books on hold at my library. There is one book, the Historathon read-along book. I wasn't going to read it, but then it came in at my library, and I guess I just took it as a sign. The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. So, if that one comes in this month, I'll be reading it. But I just got that one on a whim since it was brand new at my library. I went ahead and put a reserve on it. All right, tell me if you are participating in Historathon and what books you're hoping to read this month. Sorry that this got out so late. We've been having trouble with our smoke detector, so I couldn't really make a video with it going off. I also had to wait until I had a chance to get all the books that I wanted to have on my TBR, and that took a little bit longer than anticipated. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye.